Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Lisa Davis. You're watching The New Normal, and we have got price predictions with SL369 and Shining Bull Astrology today. So, really excited about this. This is a group that Clint Westwood introduced me to SL369, and SL369 has found some really interesting things with some of the astrology charts through Shining Bull Astrology. And so, we're going to kind of introduce you to Matic if you haven't heard of Matic, or actually, they've changed the name to Polygon. We're going to show you a little bit about it, and that there might be it might be an exciting opportunity. We definitely are not giving financial advice. This is for fun, education, entertainment, and but it's been really interesting. So you guys check it out. We'll be right back with SL369 and Maya from Shining Bull Astrology. Welcome back to The New Normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. And since we're talking about crypto today with my new friends, I wanted to welcome back SL369. We were introduced to her through Clint Westwood, and have been following her group, and it's been really amazing information, and enjoyed it for sure. SL, how are you doing?
Very good. How are you? Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you back. And you brought your friend Maya from Shining Bull Astrology to introduce her to us and to the group. Maya, how are you today?
I'm well, and thank you so much. It's nice being here.
Yeah, I'm really glad to have you here. SL shared a little bit of her story and kind of how she started having these price predictions or flashes that she would see these prices in our last video that we did. And I just wanted to take a quick minute of your story and what you are comfortable sharing. How did you get into astrology? What led you to that? And what have you kind of learned along the way?
Yes, so I've been practicing Vedic astrology as a profession just for the past maybe 3 years now. And I actually just started by putting up crypto predictions because, practically speaking, I feel and felt like part of the crypto community, and I wanted to kind of, in a very small way, accept my payments in crypto and kind of just in my little tiny way encourage just the exchange of crypto as payment, even for my one small service. And so I put some actually predictions up as some of my first things that I publicly showed. And actually, I did not expect to go in this direction of being so into making these financial predictions, but my client base basically found that to be very valuable. So I just kind of went naturally in that direction. I help my clients personally with personal consultations, but more and more I got into doing these financial and especially cryptocurrency predictions because that's the direction that they themselves were leading me into. So it was like a very organic thing, and now I actually find a lot of meaning in it because, for example, one client mentioned to me just the other day that, I like astrology and I'm not so much into crypto, but my roommate is, but I love how astrology predictions for crypto is like proof of astrology. So it's like something that's kind of nice because I'm able to show that even something so kind of meaningless as like numbers changing, on a chart is dictated by the celestial movements. So yeah.
Interesting. So which came first, the crypto or the astrology?
They kind of came, well, astrology is like in India, that's used in the society in a very normal way. So my whole life, obviously, that was a big part of, not a big part of my life, but that was a natural thing in life. So obviously I knew about astrology for a very, very, very long time. But when I started presenting astrology like publicly and wanted to start helping people personally with via consultations, at that same time I had just recently gotten very interested in cryptocurrency. So those two things kind of happened simultaneously. Yeah.
Interesting. And how do you find a birth chart on a cryptocurrency? What date do you go off of, and location, and because it's my experience with astrology that's really important that you get the date, the time, and the location of the birth.
Yeah. Well, so I really try to get the time and location, not just the day. It's true that I don't need that, actually. Like if I just have the date, I can give predictions looking at especially Jupiter and Saturn, and maybe the moon, if I know that the moon will have only been in that one sign. But even that I'm careful about, because the moon might have shifted in that day, the nakshatra or constellation, or even the sign. So I actually, like sometimes I look at the ICO date, but then I get on that group's Telegram channel and I look to try and find, like I do a lot of research to try and find the exact moment that somebody said, oh, it's live. I think that was what I did with Matic. And then, and sometimes it's a press release, you know, sometimes it's like the first press release that I see that mentions that there's the chain has gone live, or the chain has gone live. I usually don't use Genesis blocks, but sometimes I do. And sometimes I use unusual things. Like for Bitcoin, I use a moment that the first like pizza was bought with Bitcoin. I actually use that. So sometimes I think generally astrologers that are in this like financial predictions, a lot of times we may vary on the chart we choose to use, but I also am able to verify, you know, I am also able to see like why I feel good about a chart once I look at certain price movements and I see that, oh, it makes sense because these planets were transiting these points, you know, so this chart is functioning well for me. So it's different.
Really interesting that it's alive, moving. The coin has a life of its own. That's already kind of planned out in the stars. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That's great. So SLU, were you the one to notify or find this information about Matic, which is now Polygon, and then see Maya's chart and kind of line that all up? How did this dynamic duo come together?
Yes. So when I first heard of Matic was in 2019. I have a handful of friends who are TA. They trade Matic. So I already knew about it in 2019. But when I have my private group, there were a few people who already purchased Matic for their portfolio, and I follow very closely. They provide update, Twitter, social media update. So they got in early. I think they got in like around 4 cents or 5 cents, or some even below that. But then starting this year, beginning of the year, my spirit guide keep on giving me vision, tell me to get into Matic. You know, they provide me a bunch of different visions. The first one is on February 18. Let me pull it up. Oh, he said that Matic will go to $400, and it said that it will go to Ethereum level. So what he said was that it will go to Ethereum price level. So Ethereum right now is roughly $1,800. I think about a month ago or so, Ethereum hits 3,000-ish. And Ethereum hasn't hit the all-time high yet. So one day in the future, Matic will hit like 4 figures. Right now, they only provide me up to like $400. So that was like the first vision that I was like oh my god, like Matic will go like Matic will perform that well, because Matic was real static for about 3 years, from 2018 to 2020. It was lingering between 4 cents and 5 cents, and it started moving at the end of 2020 when the market picked up. Then Matic actually rise with the market, but it was really a sleeping giant to me. So they came forward, they said, pick up some Matic, and then that's like the first version. And then they came back on the mid March 19th. They showed me a really interesting vision where they zoom into a Persian ledger wallet. The first line, it showed Pontiac. The logo color is black, so that's fine to me. Okay, that's nothing special. But then when they zoom into Matic, the color around Matic is purple, and it's like beaming, it's like light, shiny purple. And I thought it was really interesting. And I look up what the color purple means. It means mercy and transformation. I already know that.
Wow.
Through research, I already know that Matic will complement Ethereum one day. They will help Ethereum with the high gas fee. And right now, the blockchain is really slow on Ethereum network, slow and expensive. Take a long time to verify transactions. So Matic is building something called layer 1. Also, later on, they will build a layer 2 where they will help Ethereum network process transaction quicker and faster and with a lower gas fee. So Matic will really help Ethereum in the future with their technology if they want to continue to serve like thousands and hundreds of crypto projects on the network. So that was like the second vision, the purple color like beaming around Matic. I was like, no wonder like Matic will play a role in transforming Ethereum network in the future. Then last night they came back and told me that Matic will rise to $3. So they giving me more Matic network visions. They keep telling me,
and that would be a more, I'm sorry, that would be a more immediate price prediction, the $3.
$3, giving the markets, maybe you could hit like at the end of the year or early next year.
Okay.
Yeah, Matic has, I think after Matic got listed on Coinbase, it went from maybe 12 cents to 40 cents. Went down to 25 cents, and today, rise back up to 40 cents. So Matic has really featured. A lot of people haven't discovered Matic, how powerful it will be one day with the technology. They've been working on this project for 3 years.
And I think that there are some heavy hitters in this space that are onto it already. So it's cool to the rest of us to understand a bit more. So I think it's really good that we're speaking about this so that everybody can benefit.
Yeah. Give everyone the same benefits. I like that on their website, and I'll put links in the description when we post the video live, but they have their solutions, and they say, they're kind of have their roadmap right there for you. The POS chain is live. The Matic Plasma is live. The next project is ZK rollups. So that you can follow along with how the project is developing. Obviously, it's moving forward and has all those developers on their about page and their vision. So that's really exciting too. Good information. So SL, how did you find Maya's chart and information? And then maybe you guys can talk about how it kind of matched up what you were both seeing and kind of that synchronicity.
Yes, so I have known Maya. I think I met Maya, was it last year or 2 years ago? On someone found Maya YouTube channel, and then I had private consultation with Maya, and she said really interesting thing. Then we stay in touch. A few months ago, I shared my prediction for RSR.dx, Bitcoin Black, and I'm not sure if I have published a Matic or not. But then, because I share information on a public channel, then Maya said, hey, I create an altcoin book, you may want to take a look. So I skimmed through a few of them. Then I asked her for permission to repost PondX and Bitcoin Black to my private channel, because my group really loved that two projects. Then I skimmed through Matic predictions, and she said that in 2024, Matic will really explode, will come into its own powers. And that's when it hit me that in 2024, Matic will help Ethereum with the scaling. That's when I realized that when my spirit guide said Matic will go to Ethereum price level, I didn't know like how high will be, but then it reinforced me that my visions align with the chart and astrology, and I was amazed that it's aligned really well. So then I told Maya about it.
That's really great. Yeah, Maya, can you kind of explain what you were seeing with Matic on this? You sent me a screenshot of the astrology chart for Matic, and can you kind of break that down for people?
Yeah. So, well, the first thing I wanted to mention is, well, I can mention various things. First thing I want to mention is, because SL mentioned how it was kind of pretty stable and not showing any price growth for a long time. So basically, beginning of January, I think January 1st, the price, I believe, started to go up. And what we see is that at that time, Saturn and Jupiter were both on Matic's natal Saturn and Jupiter. So that's a big deal transit. Very much so. And of course, the moon was also transiting their Lagna or ascendant. And then one other thing was happening with Mars trining natal Ketu. But it's just interesting that, until then, the price didn't take off, but then the price took off in a very obvious way, because that's a really big transit, basically. But the other thing about this is that they're actually now in their, so you see on the one side of this chart, you'll see like little how can I say this? This is the dashas, the mahadashas, or time frames that we look at in Vedic astrology, and I use them when I look at stocks and cryptocurrencies, and it works really well for me if I have the time, if I have a good chart. So they're right now in their Sun Mahadasha and their Jupiter Antardasha. So that's where they are right now. And I feel that's also quite a nice period for them to be going through. Because the Sun the Sun and Venus are together in their 11th house. Venus is the lord of their 11th house, and Sun is the lord of their 2nd house. And that's really nice for wealth. But then later we also see, like February 1st, when the price took off a little bit more, I noticed Venus was on natal Saturn. Jupiter was trining natal Sun, who is the Mahadasha lord. And then another important thing that's happening right now is Rahu, which is in Western astrology, it is the north node of the moon. In Vedic astrology, it has a lot of, not a planet, but like a half planet. So that Rahu is moving over Sun and Venus right now in the 11th house. And when on February 1st, when the price took off again, that Rahu was within the 3-degree orb of natal Venus. So that's also a powerful transit that's happening right now for them. And so that's basically right now why I see that it's taking off now. But for some reason, I don't even know why, I pulled up, when I was looking at Matic's chart, I pulled up the chart I have for I use for Ethereum, and I noticed that they have some they have two very nice alignments in their chart. One is that Matic's natal Jupiter is on Ethereum's natal moon, and that's not, I mean, that's to a very close degree. That's like 20 minutes away from each other. The extreme, it's like right on there. And then the other thing is that that Matic's Lagna or ascendant, which is the place that's rising on the eastern horizon at the birth time, that point is on ETH's ascendant and 10th Lord Mercury. So that's like something that just caught my attention before I really understood how much they were involved, like how important Matic is actually or will be for the Ethereum chain. So I
that
just
kind of show their destiny timeline of
I feel
coming
that,
together.
I feel it's I really see that very clearly. And then later when I was researching more, I realized, oh wow, it's true. They actually are, working on layer 2 or I'm not a technical, I'm not like a computer engineer or anything, but I understood that, they're working on the technology to make ETH feasible, like SL was mentioning with the gas fees, and that's like a crisis right now in that space. So only later did I see that, and it just confirmed what I saw in the charts. And that Jupiter being right on ETH's natal moon is really nice, and that ascendant lining up with ETH's ascendant lord and 10th lord is also really special. But especially I feel like Jupiter being right on that natal moon. So that just sort of sent a signal to me that I should really pay attention here. And then looking on the more long term, what I saw is that there's a lot of strong things that are going to be happening on the long term that is going to be building this project and the price like on the long term and in a very meaningful way. And SL mentioned 2024, which is, so that's, in November of 2024, they'll enter the Mahadasha of their ascendant lord. And again, that's where ETH's ascendant lord is, where where Matic's ascendant is. So I feel that at that time, it's going to be very clear that that Polygon is very important for facilitating the Ethereum network. So
very interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just learning about, I have another friend, Kritianya, that I have on occasionally that's interested in astrology. And so I'm just starting to learn some of these things and the significance of things, like you were saying, you're able to see when those go into the same house and how they line up, and that helps you with the time. So it's really interesting to see that yours is very much about time and timelines. That's the gifts and the things that you're able to see and put together. And SL, it has these flashes and knows kind of a general date, but not as specific. So the two of you together are like the dynamic duo for sure.
It's great. And some crossover clients that follow SL had asked me, can you look at PandiX, which is a coin SL had posted about, and I myself took SL's kind of like basically SL spoke about Bitcoin Black long ago, and so I personally bought some of that coin, but I never looked at the chart. And then when I was making this altcoins book, I looked at both of those, and that's when it really hit me that there's something very special here, because knowing her visions, which I trust kind of intuitively, I trust her visions personally very much. But when I looked at those two charts, I hadn't known that she had spoken as much about Matic, but I had known that she had spoken very much about those two coins. When I saw those charts, then I realized that there's really something. I mean, it's a very clear thing, you know? Yeah, because when I looked at those two charts, it was just so clear. I understood what she had been mentioning, and then I saw it in the charts itself, and I understood why those were such powerful coins. So,
that's great. SL, I wanted to go over, you sent me a screenshot of one of your posts on Discord, which people can find you on Patreon. I'll be sure to share your information and show all the different ways, but there's also a Telegram group. If you're a Patreon member of SL369, then you're able to get a private link to this Discord where there's a really strong community and they share a lot. I just wanted to see if you'd sent me this screenshot, and if you could kind of break that down for us and see where you were going with this post.
Oh yeah, sure. So every night my spirit guide go into my sleep and provide me visions. Vision is a little bit different than dreams. Dreams you see sort of like stories and like a movie in front of your eye. A flash would mean that they literally flash you an image and then it dissipate really quickly. So they show me a kind of visions. It's not a prediction, it's a sort of visions. So the night of February 18, they, in my sleep, the whole entire night, they kept telling me that to get RSR and Matic. And then any of my Patreon member who appear in my sleep, I told them also to get Matic and RSR. And then later on, in that dream, maybe early morning, that's when they gave me the price prediction for Matic. They said, you know, Matic will go to $400. And then they also said that Matic will go to Ethereum price level. Then I didn't know what they mean by that until much later. Later, they provide me a prediction of 4 figures, which means that it's more than $400, could be more than 1,000. It will be more than 1,000. So I was like, wow, that's like really like high.
Incredible. Yes.
Yeah, but because I have never imagined, you know, Polygon, which is the new name, would have that kind of success, because they have been working on this project for a long time, and there's a lot of competition in here, and we don't know where Ethereum will go. So that really, it didn't blow my mind until I read my astrology predictions, because she said is in the chart that Matic will be successful in the future, and that's when I put 2 and 2 together. I say, oh, it will be really successful in the future. So yeah. So this post basically, I just recap of what I saw in my dream, my kind of vision. I said that, you know, they told me to get Matic. I'll go to $400, and will help Ethereum greatly in the future. So the transaction will become more feasible and less expensive than now.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, in fact, I was just, I put together an NFTs pick for a client commission that other people have been able to purchase this. But this, and when I was researching like different NFT related coins, I don't remember even which I saw, but I realized that some of these NFT projects are already migrating onto the Matic Network, actually. So that's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting that that's happening right now, you know, because both of
NFT is the hot, the hot thing right now. I think that's all anybody's talking about.
Right.
Solutions. I'm wondering if I can find more information that we can share on Foundation for the Internet of Value of and People. Polygon provides core components and tools to join new borderless economy and society. let's see. With Polygon, any project can easily spin up a dedicated blockchain network which combines the best features of standalone blockchains: sovereignty, scalability, and flexibility. And Ethereum, security, interoperability, and developer experience. Additionally, these blockchains are compatible with all existing Ethereum tools, MetaMask, MyCrypto, Remix, etc., and can exchange messages among themselves with Ethereum. With Ethereum. Polygon technology is materialized through two major components: Polygon framework and the Polygon protocol. So yeah, this is pretty exciting about the so here they talk about the framework, the one-click deployment of preset Ethereum compatible blockchains. I think that could be huge for people to have a one-click and be able to start their own blockchain. And then it says growing set of modules. And they give a list for developers to build a custom blockchain. The protocol is arbitrary messaging passing between any two participating Polygon chains, as well as between any Polygon chain and Ethereum. Security as a service, non-mandatory modular security services provided by either the Ethereum directly or by a dedicated set of validators. And then they go on to talk about the chains. Go ahead, Maya.
I want to just tell people that one thing to note is that this coin has Mars in Aquarius. And what's going to happen is Jupiter actually this April 6th, so I guess in a week, is entering into Aquarius. Now, what's going to happen is, first of all, both Jupiter and Saturn will be aspecting the second house from the moon. And second house is like liquidity and money. But the other thing is that as Jupiter is transiting natal Mars, which is a very nice planet for this ascendant, at that same time, Rahu is transiting natal Sun. So what I want to tell people is that from short term, you're going to see this coin increasing, like we already are seeing. People are showing their faith in this coin actually already. And so I want people to know, like, short term, basically this Rahu transit of the natal Sun goes through to August 20th. And but that Jupiter is I mean, this is like basically short term you'll see some good gains, but long term there's going to be huge gains. So
they haven't missed out. Like looking at the looking at the chart, it just stayed so static down here, and then all of a sudden this giant gain, but you have not missed out on getting in now.
Yeah, and people who are kind of really deep into crypto, I think, realize this potential of this project. But what I would say, like, I am not a financial advisor, I'm an astrologer, but me personally, even if I see that this coin climbs a lot within the next year, I see this for myself as a long-term hold, because I know that it's going to just get to a total other level. So that's what I wanted to mention.
What SL was seeing, that getting to that Ethereum level, and instead of being, I think it's really interesting because a lot of people have talk about, oh, this project's gonna be an Ethereum killer, this is gonna be an Ethereum killer, but the reality is the number of projects that are already built on Ethereum's not going away. So having a project that's a solution to improve scalability and the get the fees down, all that for Ethereum is pretty huge.
Yes. So Maya, so you said that this year Matic will performing well. Can you talk from now into 2024? It's pretty a long time, like 3 years. Can you provide a little bit more insight regarding like next year and then all of
so what I see is that first you'll see short-term gains like over this year basically, or longer, possibly like all the way through to I think April of next year. There'll be some good gains, but then the project is going to be advancing still. And what I see is that there's one period that there may be a lull. But before then, the period that I see of a big gains happening is from like mid-November through to mid-November of 2023 through to mid-May of 2025, because firstly, they're going to be in the Dasha sequence of Sun Venus. That is the conjunction that's causing a very nice yoga or conjunction for wealth in their chart. And so when they go through that period, it's going to be very good for their money, making money basically. And then what's going to happen is Jupiter is going to enter there, is going to be in their 11th house, transiting that yoga or conjunction of Sun and Venus in Taurus, but furthermore trining natal Jupiter and trining the natal moon. So I see that period as being a big, a very important time. And then there's like a year where there can be some kind of lull, not necessarily, but there can be a lull, but then they're going to enter into another period of a very where both Saturn and Jupiter have aspect on their ascendant. So, but basically the big time that I see is like mid-November of 2023 through to mid-May of 2025. That's the biggest, that's the most important period I see coming up.
So there would be opportunity to buy in before that as we see these little dips coming up. That's kind of their opportunity there. And then once you get into that, was it May of 2023 to stay in that through May of 2025?
It's November of 2023 through to May. Yeah, like mid-November of 2023 through to mid-May of 2025. And it's possible, you know, if there are people who see, oh, hey, I've made some really good gains, you know, from now up through to April of the fall of next year of 2022, then, you know, maybe there will probably, I'm sure, be many people who cash out. It is true that there's an unsure period in 2023. That's not very long. It's just for a few months, actually. So, but then again, like I said, that's when, after that is when this really good period is going to start. So I personally I will not cash out. For me, this is
for that as an opportunity to buy in or to take some profits off something else to buy in.
Right.
So before we got started, you guys were talking about, people were talking about whales and possibly affecting this or cashing out. And I just want to we do have a lot of new people in crypto. You know, we're moving forward to mass adoption, but we're not there yet. And so what do you see the risks of something like that? And can you kind of explain how that affects the market when whales see something like this and decide that they can swing that with in these penny stocks or in these smaller coins?
So I think when whales or people who have a lot of discretionary money, if they either hear or see hot tips that, hey, you know, there's a prediction Matic or VRA will go to, I don't know, will increase by 100%, you know, they will jump in right away with big pool of money. They will buy really early, big bag, and then when a crypto go up, the retail investor, which is the average investor, we call them retail investors. Like when the market is green, we like to buy. It's kind of weird because we're afraid that we're missing out. So we jump in and buy when the market is like surging. So we jump in, and then when a crypto rise to like 100% or 150%, that's when the whales pull out the money, like take their profits and cash out. So what under a penny cryptocurrency, my group have seen that a lot for the past 3 weeks. So they've been complaining that some of the under a penny cryptocurrency, the whales actually moved like crypto by 70%. So it happened a few days ago or yesterday. Someone in my group post a crypto called AXPR, and when someone posts at noon, and by 2 o'clock, I checked the chart and it went up by 70%, and people complaining because they haven't gotten, but that crypto pump. So it happened for the past 3 weeks. So in this market in particular, like right now we're in a bull market, so a lot of whales have money. If they see any kind of crypto that has potential to move quickly in a day, they'll jump in. But I'm not concerned about Matic because Matic is a long-term hold and long-term investment. To me, Matic is like, it's not data, or to me it's not data. We find
so you don't see Theta. I know we're not really talking about Theta on this, but you don't see Theta as a long-term hold.
No, I see Theta as long-term hold. That's why I want to compare Matic to Theta. So Matic to me is like not Theta. You know, you find Theta at 39 cents, you buy, and then you wait for it to rise. So Matic to me is like that for my portfolio. You know, if it would drop a couple pennies, you know, 5%, 30%, you know, I keep on accumulating, and then wait for it.
Yeah, in that situation with those whales, if you, to avoid getting wrecked by the whales, then you just hold your crypto, because a project like Matic or Theta is eventually going to be so high that the whales will come in and out, but you will rise with the rest of it.
Yes.
Later. Yeah.
But also, with Matic's at 39 cents, you know, it's more aggressive than some crypto that's like 5 cents. So people cannot buy a lot in one transaction. You know, maybe they can only afford like 1,000 Matics or a little bit less. So if they buy in small chunk, if they buy, you know, a small transaction that Matic at 39 cents, and it would drop to 35 to buy a little more, like dollar cost average, which is fine.
Yeah, I think that's one of the safer ways is dollar cost averaging. And I think it's really great that we have this insight from the astrology chart saying that there's going to be this unsure time or possibly a pullback in early 2023 for Matic. So that might be a great opportunity for people that haven't gotten in.
It's actually in the middle of 2020. It'll be from 6th July of 2023 through to November 11th of 2023. It could be unsure there. But, you know, by that point, it will probably already be much higher than the levels we have it at right now, you know? So, like me personally, I'm trying to, when I can, just add to my Matic holdings.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Now,
so even
because
at that point,
because at that time,
maybe hundreds of dollars, not 39 cents or 41 cents where we can buy now.
Exactly. Because there's a lot that's going to be helping it right now in the near term future that's going to take it up to another level. So by the time we're in like July through November of 2023, that lull or period of uncertainty won't be, I don't think that it'll be anything comparable to today's prices at all whatsoever.
Okay.
Wow. So one thing I want to note, that the Matic Network founders, so he admired Vitalik's his work and his genius way back in like 3 years ago, and they study Ethereum coding, and they follow Vitalik. Then they said that rather create something new. So they find some kind of, not loophole, but they find that Ethereum is missing, is the transaction is a little slow. So that's why they work on figuring out how to help Ethereum network to be faster and cheaper. So they intentionally trying to find a solution for Ethereum since day one. And now hearing that the chart line up with Ethereum.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
what
that's
you're saying. It just resonates so much with that Jupiter on their moon. because Matic's Jupiter, which is like knowledge and taking somebody basically into the future in a good way, like with knowledge. For Matic, that Jupiter is on ETH's moon, like right on there. So, I mean, it just makes so much sense. It's just so natural that from the beginning, this project had ETH in mind, basically.
So yeah, and I love that they didn't try to be an ETH killer. They said ETH is great. With that, they respected ETH, and then found the the missing part of it. How can we improve this and be more together? And that's what I think in this cryptocurrency. Yeah, it's really that decentralized aspect of the community where, it's a decentralized coin, build on it, make it better. So I think the community all benefits from that.
So Maya, based on astrology, you don't see that ETH will go away in the next 5 years?
No, I mean, people have been asking me to make a book for Ethereum, but for some reason it's actually, it's a challenge. So that's why I haven't put it out because, I think I see this as something really that is, Ethereum is very special. And when I look at their chart, I don't want to speak much about ETH now because I haven't really been looking at their chart recently, but basically I know that this is something that's going forward into the future, and it's something that there's a lot that they have planned that's going to come forth. So like right now we're all really like concerned about the fees, obviously, because it makes it so impossible. But what I see in this chart is that there's a lot of things are planned, and a lot of things will be coming forth. And this is like something that's going to continue to, that's going to sustain Ethereum, I mean. So, yeah.
So another network that I want to ask, like not in detail, but I want to put the seed in your head is Cardano, ADA. Cardano is trying, the founder, Charlie, who used to work for on Ethereum project, he left early. He left 1 year before Ethereum launched because there's some disagreements. So he's working on his own network. They will have DApp, and developer can develop projects on it. So they will be similar to Ethereum Network, but will be more flexible, faster and cheaper, and more decentralized. Charlie wanted to be more decentralized. So maybe in the future, you can compare the chart for Cardano and Ethereum.
I can tell you, yeah. So I can just tell you, Ethereum. It's very important to this is my opinion as an astrologer, following Ethereum and looking at that chart. This is something that's really big, it's kind of structural in this space, I think. And just like I mentioned recently, researching NFTs, basically they're mainly all using the Ethereum network. So there's something really sustainable about Ethereum that I can say it will continue, and I can say that Ethereum is on another level. Like I looked at Cardano for that altcoins book, and it is something that can get people nice gains. But Ethereum is something that's it's not Bitcoin, but it has a lot of power, It's something that's kind of, I see it as quite fundamental. And I think, I don't think that Ethereum will disappear. I think that there will be solutions like these layer 2 or roll up and all of these terms that I'm not a specialist on that, but there are a lot of solutions that are being found, and there's a lot that's happening that we may not see that's being worked on actually currently.
So Maya, it's really amazing to me when I hear that this company or this project has like amazing chart. So did those developers know what they were doing when they
No, yeah, that was something really cool that we spoke briefly about this other day. Of no, I don't think that most in the crypto space, I really don't think that most of these people are using astrology to decide when to launch. I'm quite sure they're not, but it's like nature. It's like nature, you know, because it's like. Okay, I'll give you one example is again with this NFTs thing. What I noticed is there are some NFTs that are really going to be supported in a big way by Jupiter's current transit, and it's going to expand these coins, right? And what I noticed when I found their birth data is that these projects all launched at around the same time when Jupiter was around in the same area in Libra, I believe. So, now that's coming now because of the cycle of Jupiter. Now those coins are going to be supported in a big way. And, you know, they all launched around the same time. They all have this in common, these things in common that Jupiter is currently going to be expanding. Obviously, they didn't plan on, you know, they were concerned about their own projects, but these projects with these similarities launched at the same time, you know. So what's happening is that the celestial movements are supporting certain subject matter coming forth. And we don't, I doubt that a lot of these developers realize that because they're developers and probably not contemplating astrology as, you know, why they're doing what they're doing. But that's kind of a fact of nature as I see it. And so another thing, like we were speaking about Matic and ETH's charts lining up, it's like, it's not something that you can consciously know, but it's kind of like nature that these two things go together, you know, that it's nature that these two things are going to be working in tandem, basically.
So like, so it's like
frequencies.
So it's like it's meant to be, it's meant to happen or something like that, or it's destined.
It's yeah. It's just like when you meet somebody that you really get along with, you don't know, you probably don't know that you have some kind of planetary alignments, and that's why, because that person is beneficial to you, you know, that person is beneficial to you, like it's good for you or healthy for you because you have some key planetary alignments happening. And the opposite is true. Somebody you want to get along with them, but just doesn't work. It's nothing yet you have to take personally. It's just the alignments. So it's like the same. I'm seeing that the same happens with a crypto or a stock. You know, I was looking at it's happening a lot now when I'm looking at cryptos and stocks that I'm noticing this too. So
Maya, so the next project that I think it would be really cool to look at, I think you already did a prediction on it, Bitcoin Black, because Bitcoin
yes.
And
yeah, you have been somebody who,
I don't have
you've been somebody who, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have a founder's like birthday or something. They are anonymous, but I
use a chart that you a long time ago you gave me some data that I then did a little bit of research. So I found the chart for them that I use for that prediction in the book. So I can go with that.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to talk about that because I got more vision about it. In the latest vision is the Earth. And then they show me Bitcoin Black.
I saw that. SL. Yeah, I saw that on your Discord. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I think that was really cool. Yeah.
Well, maybe we can do this again. Maybe do once a week, or I don't know. We can get together and see what works for you guys. But it'd be really interesting to do Bitcoin Black and see kind of how those line up or what was in common with those.
Yes.
SL, do you have any other questions or great points that we need to share with people before we go? And
Yeah, sure. So the reason that we would like to share this information with the community is not a lot of retail investor, the average investor, know about Matic Network yet, and a lot of people know about Digibyte, Litecoin, BCH, Data, or XRP, but Matic Network right now is still very affordable, 39 cents. Potentially it will go to $400, and then in the future, like 3 years later, it could go to 1,000 and over 1,000. So I would like to share this information with the public so everyone can take advantage of. You don't need to buy a lot. You know, you can buy like 5,000 Matic or whatever the amount that you can afford, and then just multiply that, 5,000 Matic, by $400 or 1,000. That will really help you financially in the future. So I don't want people to miss out on this opportunity. And then I will share this vision on my Telegram as well.
Absolutely. And I know we're going to share this to our Patreons first,
yeah,
to be loyal to those that are loyal to us. And then we'll roll this out to the public a few days later. So if you guys aren't already following SL and a member on her Patreon, definitely recommend you do that. She does have a Telegram that you can get. That's her more like public information. And you can follow her on Twitter at CryptoSL369. And Maya, the best place to follow you and get information is your Telegram, Shining Bull. And then within that, you have opportunities where people can, like you were discussing during the video, purchase books, or you'll do charts or projects. They can kind of get a consult.
Yes, and I'll be also launching a subscription service for investors and traders on Patreon quite soon, like probably at the new moon. So in a few weeks, in 2 weeks from now. So then they'll be able to keep updated if they're interested in that too. And that will be a nice resource for people who are interested. So definitely follow my Telegram so you can keep up to date and also see some predictions I give. Like when I see something special, I also just will mention it there. About any given coin.
Well, I think you guys just make an amazing team together, and I'm really honored that you asked me to be part of facilitating this information that you're sharing. And so I hope we get to do this again soon. And I'm just grateful for you guys and excited to go through this crypto journey with you.
Yes, it's fun. And when something is written in the star, I'm like, whoa, we need to talk about this.
Yeah,
definitely. And we need some more good stuff. You guys you both just have amazing energy and your heart to want to help other people. And the little guy I just love. So grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you.
And I'm grateful to you, Lisa, also, and SL too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys, we told you, check out Matic. We'll have the links in the description. I'll have links for you to get a hold of SL and Maya as well. And guys, give us a like, share this video, and after you buy your Matic. So we'll see you guys next time on The New Normal.